The Instagram notification popped up on my phone at 2:47 p.m. while I was reviewing quarterly reports in my downtown office. My sister Carmen had posted another story from Paradise Bay Resort in Costa Rica. This one featuring the entire extended Martinez family lounging by the infinity pool with tropical drinks. The caption read, "Family vacation without the burden. Palm tree sun, sometimes you need quality time with people who actually matter. Hashtag family first, hashtag paradise found, hashtag no dead weight, hashtag blessed life." I could see everyone in the photo. Mom and dad, Carmen and her husband Miguel, my brother Luis with his wife and kids, my cousins, aunts, uncles. 22 family members enjoying what looked like an incredible week at one of Central America's most exclusive resorts. Everyone looked radiant, relaxed, completely content. And I wasn't there. This wasn't unusual. For the past 3 years since I'd started what my family called playing with hotels, I'd been systematically excluded from major family trips. Not formally disinvited, just forgotten. Plans made without consulting me, group chats I wasn't included in, reservations that somehow never included space for one more person. The burden had become Carmen's favorite nickname for me ever since I'd left my corporate law job to start what she described as some hospitality consulting thing that probably won't work out. I scrolled through the comments on her post. Hundreds of hearts, fire emojis, and congratulations from friends and extended family. People praising the beautiful location, asking about the resort, commenting on how happy everyone looked. I typed a simple comment. "Looks amazing. Hope you're all having a wonderful time. Palm tree." 3 minutes later, Carmen had liked my comment. Probably surprised I was being supportive rather than hurt by the exclusion. My phone rang. Marcus Rodriguez, the general manager of Paradise Bay Resort. "Ms. Martinez," Marcus said when I answered. "I hope I'm not interrupting anything important." "Not at all, Marcus. What's going on?" "We have a situation with the Martinez family group that's currently staying with us. I wanted to get your guidance before proceeding." I looked back at Carmen's Instagram post, still open on my computer screen. What kind of situation? Well, the group has been challenging. Complaints about room assignments, demands for upgrades they didn't pay for, very specific dietary requests that weren't part of their package, requests for complimentary activities that normally cost extra. I wasn't surprised. My family had a tendency to treat service staff as personal assistants, especially when they felt they were paying premium prices for luxury experiences. "How are our staff handling it?" I asked. "Professionally as always. But Ms. Martinez, the one who seems to be leading the group, has been particularly demanding. She's threatened to leave negative reviews if we don't accommodate every request, and she's been taking photos in staff-only areas despite being asked to respect boundaries." I sighed. "Marcus, what do you need from me?" "Your guidance on how far to bend our policies. This is a large group booking and normally we try to accommodate reasonable requests, but some of what they're asking for would set problematic precedents for other guests." I thought about the situation. Paradise Bay Resort prided itself on exceptional service while maintaining clear boundaries about what was included in different packages. Allowing one group to demand unlimited complimentary upgrades would create expectations that couldn't be sustained. "Marcus, enforce our standard policies. Be gracious and professional, but don't compromise the experience for other guests or create unsustainable precedents." "Understood. And if they threaten to leave negative reviews?" "Then they threaten to leave negative reviews. We've built our reputation on genuine excellence, not on caving to unreasonable demands." "Thank you, Ms. Martinez. I'll handle it appropriately." After ending the call, I sat in my office looking out at the city skyline, thinking about family dynamics and business decisions. Paradise Bay Resort was one of 12 properties in the Solaris Hospitality Group portfolio, the company I'd founded 4 years ago after leaving corporate law. What had started as a single boutique hotel acquisition had grown into a luxury hospitality empire spanning 6 countries. My family assumed I was struggling with some small-scale consulting business. They had no idea that Solaris Hospitality Group generated over $340 million in annual revenue and that I personally owned 73% of a company valued at over $800 million. They also had no idea that Paradise Bay Resort, where they were currently enjoying their burden-free family vacation, was one of my properties. At 4:15 p.m., my phone buzzed with another notification. Carmen had posted an Instagram story from the resort spa, complaining about having to pay extra for premium treatments that should obviously be included in their package. At 4:23 p.m., another story from the resort restaurant, with Carmen expressing frustration that they couldn't get a table at the chef's table without advance reservations. At 4:31 p.m., a story featuring Miguel arguing with resort staff about accessing the private beach area that was reserved for presidential suite guests. I called Marcus back. "Ms. Martinez," he answered immediately. "I was just about to call you. Let me guess. More complaints. The situation has escalated. Ms. Martinez, your sister, is now demanding to speak with the owner of the resort. She says the service is unacceptable and she wants to complain directly to whoever is in charge." I was quiet for a moment. What exactly did she say? She said, and I'm quoting directly, "I want to speak to the owner of this place because clearly the staff doesn't understand how to treat important guests who are bringing significant business to this resort." "And what did you tell her?" "I told her I would pass along her request and that someone from ownership would be in touch." I looked at Carmen's latest Instagram story, posted just minutes ago. "When you're paying premium prices but getting budget service, face with rolling eyes, time to speak with management. Hashtag customer service fail, hashtag expecting better." "Marcus," I said slowly, "please inform the Martinez family that their stay at Paradise Bay Resort has been cancelled, effective immediately." There was a pause. "Ms. Martinez, are you certain? This is a significant booking and we're in peak season." "I'm certain. Please handle it professionally. Arrange transportation back to San Jose, ensure they have confirmed flights home, and provide a full refund of their remaining stay." "May I ask the reason for the cancellation?" I thought about how to explain that I was canceling my own family's resort stay because their behavior was disrespectful to my staff and damaging to my business reputation. "Irreconcilable differences regarding service expectations and resort policies," I said finally. "Understood. How should I handle questions about why the cancellation occurred?" "Tell them the ownership reviewed their stay and determined that Paradise Bay Resort isn't the right fit for their vacation needs." "And if they ask to speak with the owner directly?" I smiled, though Marcus couldn't see it through the phone. "Tell them the owner will be in touch personally." "Very good, Ms. Martinez. I'll handle this immediately." At 5:47 p.m. I was still in my office when my phone started ringing incessantly. Carmen calling, then Miguel, then Mom, then Luis. Text messages flooding in from various family members, all expressing shock and outrage about being asked to leave the resort. I let them ring. At 6:23 p.m., Carmen posted an Instagram story that was pure fury. "Unbelievable. Resort management cancelled our stay with no explanation. After we've been nothing but polite guests. This is discrimination and we're considering legal action. Hashtag customer service hell, hashtag never again, hashtag resort scam." The comments started immediately. Friends expressing sympathy, family members posting angry emojis, people asking what resort to avoid. Within 30 minutes, the story had been viewed over 1,200 times. At 6:45 p.m. my personal phone, not my business line, started ringing. "Isabella," she said when I answered, "did you see what happened to Carmen's vacation?" "I saw her Instagram stories. It sounds like there was some kind of issue with the resort. They kicked the entire family out. 22 people, Isabella. They cancelled everyone's stay and made them leave immediately." "That's terrible, Mom. What happened?" "No one knows. Carmen says they were being perfectly reasonable guests, and suddenly the management said they had to leave. She's devastated. This was supposed to be her dream vacation." I was quiet, letting Mom continue. "The whole family is upset. Carmen used her savings to book this trip for everyone, and now they're flying home 3 days early with no explanation." "I'm sorry to hear that, Mom." "Isabella, you work in hospitality consulting, right? Is this normal? Can resorts just cancel someone's stay for no reason?" "Usually there's a reason," I said carefully. "Resort policies, guest behavior issues, safety concerns. Hotels don't typically cancel stays without cause, especially during peak season. But Carmen says they didn't do anything wrong. There might be a misunderstanding about what constitutes appropriate guest behavior." "What do you mean?" "Sometimes guests have expectations that don't align with resort policies. Demanding free upgrades, accessing restricted areas, being disrespectful to staff. That can lead to stays being terminated. Mom was quiet for a moment. Do you think Carmen might have been demanding? I think Carmen is used to getting her way and might not realize how her behavior comes across to service professionals. Isabella, she's talking about writing negative reviews everywhere, maybe even pursuing legal action. Mom, if the resort had legitimate reasons for the cancellation, negative reviews and legal threats won't be effective. But she's so embarrassed. The whole family is talking about it. I felt a pang of sympathy for Carmen despite everything. Being asked to leave a resort was genuinely humiliating, especially with the entire extended family present. Mom, maybe this is an opportunity for everyone to learn about treating hospitality workers with respect. What do you mean? I mean that resort staff are professionals doing their jobs, not personal servants. When guests treat them with courtesy and follow resort policies, everyone has a better experience. At 8:30 p.m. Carmen called me directly. Isabella, she said, her voice tight with anger and embarrassment. Mom said you work in hotel consulting. I work in hospitality, yes. Have you ever heard of anything like what happened to us today? I chose my words carefully. Carmen, what exactly happened from your perspective? We were being normal hotel guests and suddenly the manager said we had to leave. No explanation, no discussion, just pack your bags and go. What do you mean by normal hotel guests? You know, asking for things that should be included, expecting good service, not accepting substandard treatment. Like what specifically? Like when I asked to be upgraded to a better room since we're such a large group. Or when Miguel wanted to use the private beach area since we're paying so much for this vacation. Or when I took some photos in the spa area for Instagram. I was quiet. Isabella, this resort clearly doesn't understand customer service. I mean, we're bringing them serious business. 22 people for a week at their peak season rates. Carmen, did the staff explain their policies about upgrades and restricted areas? They gave us some corporate policy nonsense about different service levels and reserved areas for specific guests. But Isabella, when you're paying premium prices, you should get premium treatment. What about the spa photos? They said something about privacy policies and other guests. But honestly, if they're running a legitimate business, they should want the social media exposure. I was beginning to understand exactly why Marcus had called me twice in one afternoon. Carmen, it sounds like there might have been misunderstandings about resort policies. Misunderstandings? Isabella, they humiliated our entire family. They made us pack our bags in front of other guests and escorted us to transportation like we were criminals. I'm sorry you felt humiliated. Felt humiliated? Isabella, I was humiliated. This was supposed to be the perfect family vacation, and now everyone's talking about how we got kicked out of some resort. Maybe it's an opportunity to choose a different resort next time, one that's a better fit for the family's vacation style. There won't be a next time, Carmen said bitterly. This vacation cost me $12,000. I can't afford to lose that kind of money and plan another family trip. I felt genuinely bad for her. Despite her demanding behavior and her habit of excluding me from family events, Carmen had spent her savings to create a memorable vacation for the entire extended family. Carmen, did you get a full refund? They refunded the remaining 3 days, but I still lost money on the flights and the days we did stay. That seems fair actually. Most resorts wouldn't refund anything if guests violated policies. Whose side are you on, Isabella? The question hung in the air. Carmen wanted family solidarity even when she was wrong. But I'd built my career on understanding hospitality from both sides, guest expectations and business realities. I'm on the side of treating people with respect, I said finally, including resort staff who are trying to do their jobs professionally. Fine, Carmen said coldly. I should have known you wouldn't understand. You've never experienced the kind of luxury service we were expecting. After she hung up, I sat in my office for another hour thinking about family loyalty versus professional ethics. Carmen's behavior had been inappropriate, but she'd also organized a family vacation that had cost her significant money. The situation was more complex than simple right and wrong. At 10:15 p.m. I made a decision. I called Marcus at Paradise Bay Resort. Ms. Martinez, he answered. I hope the Martinez family situation has been resolved to your satisfaction. Marcus, I want to do something. The family is back in San Jose tonight, right? Yes, they're at the airport hotel before their morning flights. I want you to book them 2 nights at Hotel Presidente in San Jose, with dinner at our partner restaurant and transportation for any sightseeing they want to do. My treat. Ms. Martinez, are you certain? After the difficulties we experienced. I'm certain. Include a note that says Paradise Bay Resort recognizes there were mismatched expectations about service policies, and we hope they enjoy the remainder of their Costa Rica experience. Very generous of you. Should I mention that this comes from ownership? No, just say it's a gesture of goodwill from Paradise Bay Resort. The next morning I woke up to a completely different series of Instagram stories from Carmen. Photos from Hotel Presidente, the beautiful restaurant dinner, a guided tour of San Jose. Her captions were much more positive. When one door closes, another opens. Costa Rica unexpected city adventure turned out amazing. Hashtag always look for the silver lining. Hashtag Costa Rica love. Hashtag family time. She never mentioned the resort cancellation again publicly, and the angry review threats disappeared. 2 weeks later, at my cousin Maria's birthday party, the family was still talking about the Costa Rica trip, but the narrative had evolved. Instead of focusing on the resort cancellation, they talked about the unexpected adventure in San Jose and how sometimes unplanned experiences turn out to be the most memorable. Isabella, Mom said as we were cleaning up after the party, I never thanked you for your advice about the resort situation. What do you mean? What you said about treating hospitality workers with respect. I think you were right about Carmen being too demanding. I'm glad everything worked out in the end. She learned something from the experience. She's been talking about how hard service workers have to work and how important it is to be considerate when you're traveling. I smiled. That's good to hear. Isabella, can I ask you something? Of course. Your hospitality consulting work. Do you work with luxury resorts? I considered how to answer. Sometimes yes. Do you think you could help Carmen plan a better family trip next time? Maybe advise her on how to be a better guest. I'd be happy to help. She's already talking about planning something for next Christmas. Maybe somewhere closer to home this time. That sounds like a good idea. 6 months later, Carmen did call me for advice about planning the family Christmas vacation. She wanted to book a mountain resort in Colorado, and she specifically asked me to review the resort policies and help her understand what was included in their package versus what would cost extra. I don't want another Paradise Bay situation, she said honestly. I learned that being demanding doesn't actually get you better service. It just makes everyone uncomfortable. That's very mature of you, Carmen. Isabella, can I ask you something? When we talked after Costa Rica, you seemed to really understand the hospitality industry. Like you knew exactly why resorts make the decisions they make. I've been working in hospitality for several years now. Right, but you seem to understand it from the business side, not just the consulting side. I was quiet, wondering how much to share. Isabella, what exactly do you do in hospitality consulting? I help hospitality companies improve their operations and guest experience. Like you advise hotels on their policies? Among other things, yes. Have you ever worked with Paradise Bay Resort specifically? I smiled. Carmen, why do you ask? Because when we got that surprise goodwill gesture in San Jose, it felt like someone who understood the whole situation had arranged it. Not just standard corporate customer service, but someone who actually knew what had happened and wanted to make it right. Maybe the resort management was just being thoughtful. Maybe, Carmen said. But it felt personal. Like someone who cared about our family had made sure we didn't go home with completely terrible memories of Costa Rica. I'm sure they just wanted to end the experience on a positive note. Isabella, do you know more about what happened at Paradise Bay than you told me? I considered the question carefully. Carmen had learned from the experience, grown as a person, and was actively working to be a more considerate traveler. The truth might be more satisfying than maintaining the fiction. Carmen, what would you think if I told you that sometimes the hospitality industry is smaller and more connected than people realize? She was quiet for a long moment. I'd think that maybe my sister who works in hospitality consulting might have more influence than I've been giving her credit for. And what would you think about that? I'd think I owe you an apology. And probably a very big thank you. You don't owe me anything, Carmen. Family takes care of family even when it's complicated. Even when family calls you the burden and excludes you from vacation planning? Even then, Carmen was crying quietly on the phone. Isabel, I'm sorry. I'm really truly sorry for how I've treated you. I know you are. Can we start over? Can I include you in the Christmas vacation planning? Not as a consultant, but as my sister who I want to spend the holidays with. I'd like that very much. The Christmas vacation in Colorado was a completely different experience. Carmen had researched resort policies in advance, budgeted appropriately for activities and upgrades, and treated all the staff with genuine courtesy and appreciation. The family had an amazing time and no one got asked to leave anywhere. On the last night, as we sat around the fireplace in the resort lobby, Carmen raised her hot chocolate in a toast. To family vacations where everyone is included, everyone is appreciated, and everyone remembers that the people taking care of us are working hard to make our experience special. Everyone clinked mugs, but Carmen looked directly at me. And to sisters who take care of their family, even when their family doesn't deserve it. I raised my mug to hers. To second chances and better understanding. As we headed to our rooms, Carmen walked beside me. Isabella, I know you can't tell me exactly what you do in hospitality, but I want you to know I'm proud of you. Thank you, Carmen. And next time you're consulted about a difficult guest situation involving demanding family members, you can tell them that people can change and learn to be better travelers. I laughed. I'll definitely keep that in mind. The truth was, I already had.